see safety program
Right,
Yeah,
or,
and just make sure all these things are in there.
exactly, I mean, cause this,
Yeah.
I mean, cause when you either miss something, you put something in there they couldn't, or I mean,
Right.
you know, it's just,
I mean, I know it says et cetera after some of these things, but,
what's et cetera?
yeah, what's that
Define
mean?
it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I noticed, so, you know, I think it should be in the safety program, and then, you know, reference the safety program for,
I mean, for example, somebody could get exposed to asbestos, and I don't
Yeah.
even see that listed there.
it could be, well, tiles, well, you know.
No,
construction
I know they
demolition.
could in demolition, yeah, absolutely they could.
Homeowner does it, you know, that.
Right,
you know,
tear out a floor or tear out an old steam furnace
Yeah.
that's got asbestos
Mhm.
around it,
Absolutely.
take it to the transfer station, next thing you know, 10 people touching it.
Under education and training, you have high school diploma or GED and or equivalent life experience. Define equivalent life experience and how do you quantify it? That's my
Okay.
question. I'd just scratch that right off.
okay,
Is that on
I mean,
the,
cause we will want, you know, experience, and that's one of the things I don't see here anywhere is like how much experience we're asking of them. There's nothing in here that says that, I think we have it in.
it just says certifications,
Right,
which
but I
would
thought we
be,
had experience on this one here, you know. Maybe this- This one, no, this one.
oh,
It wasn't
well,
might have been a different.
it's on this one here, it says other training, skills and experience requirements.
Mhm.
Just says school diploma, some experience in heavy manual labor.
Yeah, I mean, but I don't, you know, this is a manager, so we wanna have someone that has, you know, a few years of
Yeah.
experience in supervision.
supervising people,
Yeah, and stuff like that's missing.
managing budgets and,
Yeah,
some software skills, you know, and,
people skills.
yeah, people skills is important.
So I mean, that's the kind of stuff under education and training, you know, you can put some stuff in there that you know, need, but I mean, but in license and certification's great, but also we need, you know, experience, you know, you gotta have so many years' experience, whether it's 1, 2, 5.
Yep,
Running a transfer
can check
station or
the-
similar business.
I'll check the neighboring towns, see if
Yeah.
they have them
Yeah.
on their website to compare
Right.
what they have
Mhm.
for that
Sure.
And,
management position.
and I don't know what you gentlemen think, but I know I always try to put in job descriptions, is that if you have education above and beyond what we require, it also counts for experience that you may not have.
Yeah,
So I mean, like you have an associate's degree and, you know, that's 2 years of experience in lieu of, you know. I mean, you still want some experience in it, so you might
Right.
say you want 3 years of supervision experience, you know, 2 of it, you know, if you had an associate's degree.
Yeah.
Or, you know, you can even limit it that way, say, you know, no more than 2 years for education,
Okay,
you know, so there's many things we can do. So that way it doesn't take a cut out to people.
The equivalent life experience would be that, type of experience related to the job though, where
Mhm.
someone may have done this job
Yep.
continuously, never got a GED, never graduated,
Mhm.
but they have that
yeah,
experience.
they may have
So
run
I,
a recycling
you know, I
business.
really don't have a problem with not removing that, only
Mhm.
because someone may come along and you're gonna say, well, yeah, but you don't have a GED, but you do have some skills,
Mhm.
you know.
Well, then, I mean,
So
that's-
equivalent, as I read it, would be equivalent to this
doing the
position.
work,
Well, I think we could word it better than that then. You know, like say, you know, so much experience that is, you know, it can be, you know, obviously,
It could be like related to the
Right.
recycling and transfer station or,
yeah, we have a phrase and we
Trash
use
removal
that thing.
business.
Yeah.
Was it, so much, for every year of experience will count as towards 1 year of education kind of thing, and vice versa.
I know what you're saying,
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of the same thing,
Yeah.
if you didn't go
Mhm.
to school,
Right.
but you have the experience, they give you
Credit.
life,
life credits.
no, it's life something, I forgot what it is.
alright, I'll look at
Hard
some.
knocks.
Yeah, I can look at some of my SJDs.
Tough to get old, huh?
Yeah, you're not
It
kidding.
is,
It is.
Bob.
Amen to that, brother, I tell you, it is.
Okay.
I've, CRS all the
Is
time.
it life learning experience,
Right.
is that what it
Life
is?
learning,
I think it's life
ah,
learning
I think
experience.
that sounds familiar,
I got a bad case of CRS every day. It's
life learning, I'll look
like, drives
it
me
up.
nuts.
And what'll happen is I drive home, it'll pop in my head.
Well,
You know
Send
what's
it
worse?
to me, you in an email, I'll plug it in there.
You know, what's even worse is if you're at home and you go to bed and all of a sudden you wake up, it's like, oh yeah.
Yeah, and then I quickly kill that and turn over and back to sleep.
I've had it.
You'll plug in your phone right away?
No, I
Yeah,
won't.
you should pick up your phone
I
and do
do
the notes,
not.
right?
I go, I don't like that.
Okay, anything else,
So,
any other recommendations? I'll work on this for next week, or 2 weeks from now.
If you wanna send out like the electronic version, you know, so we could probably, you know, see before you get here.
Yeah,
Yep,
maybe
Okay.
save some time.
yep.
So you
that sounds
covered
good.
my points.
I don't
Yes.
know, did I?
Yeah, you did, his,
You're next.
there was a mix of that, so I won't go into that, other than one other thing that I'm not aware of. So it might be a lesson for me, is when you're requiring the supervisor to attend selectmen's meetings to give a report,
Mhm,
you know that's paid time.
Right,
mhm.
So I'm trying to figure a way now that you lessen the impact.
okay, I
Flex
see what
time.
you're saying,
Flex
so,
time. You flex their time and you say, if
so
you-
attend, Board of Selectmen's meetings when necessary,
When
or
required.
when
Or when-
requested,
yeah.
I would,
say when required.
so that this,
when
so,
required.
you know, if somebody's coming here every
Mhm.
week thinking that
They're
they
gonna
might
get
get
paid,
called upon, they might expect to
Right.
get paid.
and
And
if,
whether or not it's flex time, it fits into the
Mhm.
no more than 40 hours of work week.
Right,
okay,
So
Well,
you're
I-
taken away from somewhere.
But sometimes it gets a little gray also, because I know that, you know, Woody has attended meetings and he's not here necessarily as a participant, but something in the discussion comes up that pertains and then he
Mhm.
participates.
Right.
So,
Yeah.
so is that
And that's my
paid
point,
time, or is that,
that's my
you
point.
know, him just being in the
No,
crowd,
we've
so
talked,
you know what I mean?
I think we've talked to the town attorney about this once before, about that, if he's,
Yeah.
if he comes, you know, using Woody's example, because he's a town resident, he's
Right.
coming here on his own volition and sitting there, and then something comes up and he,
Yeah.
and we ask him a question about the transfer station, and he engages us in the conversation, he's still there as the citizen, he didn't, cause his intent was not to be here as a transfer station
So that
manager.
wasn't his
My
reason for
intent with
being-
that
Right.
sentence is that
Yeah.
it
Okay.
requires it.
regularly,
Requires
we'll
them to
get
be
that
at
out
the
of there.
meeting, and if you require someone
Yep.
to be
Then you
present,
pay him.
then you
Absolutely.
pay 'em.
Yeah,
Right,
so you're
right.
right, Bob.
And,
Okay.
and the other thing I was thinking of was, and whether you go flex time or not, you have that line up above where they get no more than 40 hours a week.
Mhm.
So regardless of what you do, you're detracting from something.
Oh, I'm glad you brought that, I mean, the no more than 40 hours, I say, you know, cause we do allow OT, but I mean, it's, you know,
And that's another one you might wanna look at, is that there's sometimes where, unless you,
OT with
unless he
supervisor.
receives approval,
Yeah,
Right.
overtime with
the
approval.
supervisor's, you know, consent.
I guess, while we're touching on the overtime for approval, right now, I don't know what Woody's hours and shifts or schedules are. I know they're open
For
on,
them, or for him?
For him.
For
I know they're open for the public on Tuesdays, Wednesdays, they do overflow work on Thursdays and then Saturdays. But what I'm observing from time to time is that there's such a wide variety of hours on a Tuesday or a Wednesday, so come Saturday, there's either overtime or there's, if he's required to leave early at Saturday's the day that gets hit. I don't know if there's a way for us to,
So he's not managing his time effectively, is what I'm hearing.
what I personally would like to see are 8-hour shifts.
Mhm.
I don't know what he can, if he's acting as a supervisor and he's got the staff to do the work, if he's doing 8-hour shifts, he may have, if they're open till 4 on Thursday, then he's there 7 to 4. Okay, if he's open till 8 on Wednesdays, then he's doing,
Mhm.
the 10:30 to 8 or whatever the hours are. Same for Thursday and potentially a Friday,
Mhm.
and then a Saturday. So Fridays could technically be his whole office catch-up day,
Mhm.
or even runs for, hauling. I mean, there are other areas within the department that he can be better utilizing his time.
Mhm.
I've always been a firm believer that you lead by example, and if it means that he has to get in there and we find that unscrewing those caps is beneficial for us to do that, then it's always helpful to see the supervisor in
Mhm.
action, working with his group. Because
Mhm.
the biggest complaint that I had before he left was that they didn't see him involved in taking the time to work with them. It, it was either talking on the phone or doing, being off doing the sites or the trips to wherever it is, just at a critical moment where he's gone for a few hours, and then when they come back, if they're not right up to speed,
Mhm.
they get the heat from not being ready to close or not being ready for the next day and that type of thing, so, I don't know if that is ever a consideration in a job description, if you're saying there's 40 hours a week, but I don't have a managed schedule, that I can feel comfortable that 40 hours would be,
But, I guess I would have to say that before you have that discussion with us, you need the discussion with Woody,
oh, I plan on it, I absolutely
You
plan
know,
on it,
so that we have an idea.
Yep,
And,
yep.
and we know what's causing,
those strange,
glitches, you
long
know.
shifts, and then on the other hand too, if he comes back from his leave, he may be required to keep his workday in an 8-hour shift, so that
Yeah.
might work out well to get him
Mhm.
acclimated, I don't know.
Can I throw something out there? I mean, I don't disagree at all with it, she has to have a conversation with Woody, but we don't set the hours for anybody else in town. I mean, my personal opinion is, as her being his supervisor, it's up to her to decide the hours that he works. If he has an issue with that, then he can come and appeal to us.
right, I understand it, but what I'm
So,
getting at with our
yep.
conversation is, she may find out there's a reason
Oh,
why
yeah.
he might be late on Tuesday.
Yeah,
So,
Mhm.
we're supposing whatever, but
yeah,
you can't make a determination
Right.
unless you know exactly, where,
Mhm.
where the button is that he's pushing on that night, or,
Mhm.
I know, I've been there before, well, Tuesday was a little tough. Tuesday it closed at,
4,
4,
Yeah,
yeah,
4.
okay, that's
Mhm.
why, yeah. It's the 8 o'clock one, I've been
Mhm.
there at 8, when there's been a stream of
And they
cars,
curse
Yeah.
their names out,
Yeah.
don't they?
you know?
Yeah.
I mean,
I was there at
Yeah.
7:30 and I didn't know what you're saying, but I mean, my opinion, and again, is, and it's, what you guys also think, is that as far as setting his hours and his work week and all that, that's up to you as his supervisor. If he has an issue, then he can come and see us, you two as a, but I wholeheartedly agree with Bob in the sense that you should have that conversation with him before you make that decision.
right,
okay,
That's just my 2 cents.
yeah,
Because we're getting into the weeds and micromanaging
Yeah, we
something
don't wanna do
that's, you're his supervisor, that's your
Okay.
call.
yeah.
alright,
And we're the appeal board, I guess, after
so
that.
that's nothing that's ever put in a job description,
wouldn't
as far as
think so.
when,
No, not set hours, that should be
Not the
something.
hours,
I
Right,
know our
something
personal,
you gotta work
personnel
out.
plan covers the fact that we start from Sunday to Saturday,
Right.
and that's,
Yeah, but as far as the work week, that could be a simple form as,
Yeah. Just a scheduling thing, and I think the two of you can work that out.
hopefully.
okay,
If not, then you come see
Then you
us.
will.
You may find or not find that he has a reason
Mhm.
for those issues,
Yeah.
and then you can adjust whatever
Mhm.
plan you, wanna put into place, but,
yeah,
until you have that discussion with him, it has no effect on us, you know?
okay, okay,
Like my employees, I have it work for me, I set their schedule, it's like, once if it affects more than 2 people, by contract, then I have to take and go a different route, because the contract says that the schedules are being adjusted to, more than 2 people, then, you have to take in notification, so much time involved, and they have the opportunity to appeal and that kind of stuff, but if it's just a one person, it's like, hey, I need you to come in at 7 instead of 8 o'clock, that's the way it's gonna be. It's my decision as a supervisor. So,
okay, I'll work on that.
not that we're trying to throw it back at you, but,
No, we'll get this straightened out first and
Yep.
take it from there.
speaking of, coming back, from his leave, has anybody had a chance to look at that, well, I don't know if you guys have even seen it yet, I know, cause I gave you all the safety stuff, the return to work. It's the DOT one, it's workers' comp, but it has a return to work policy on it, stuff in it.
No, I haven't had
Really?
to look at
I was just,
a return to work policy.
yeah, I think it's in the workers' comp one, I think it's like number 4. And it to you, one that I gave you there on the safety
Mhm.
folder. But we really need to have that
Number
in
4.
place.
I'll look for it.
I have it in my flash drive, I can look at it. If I happen to get to it first, I'll send it out to you guys.
Yep.
But we really have to have that in place before he comes back. So, again, we had to communicate to him and also workers' comp and all that, so they're well aware of it and.
Yeah,
Okay,
communicate.
Yeah, so, that, you know, we're ready for it.
alright, I'll have that.
Because we don't have something like that today.
I don't think so, not, it's on the personnel plan,
No.
Not the personal phone.
No,
and that should be the
Yeah,
personnel plan.
yeah, that would be.
alright, any other changes, recommendations?
I'm good.
I will make some, I'll implement these changes, I'll send it off to you electronically and,
The other one that we have there?
oh, the one that was adopted, amended last year?
Yeah.
Yep.
Under license and certification requirements,
Yep,
excuse me, it says valid New Hampshire operator's license preferred but not required. I would probably just put a caveat in there, required if to operate mobile equipment. Yeah, so if you're just coming in to work in a recycling center or
Yeah.
just throwing trash and, you know, sorting, you don't need a license for that, but if you're gonna be operating the, you know, the
Equipment,
skid
skid
steer,
steer,
or the
yeah.
forklift, whatever,
got it,
the mobile equipment, that's why I said,
Anything with a motor,
mobile equipment,
yeah,
okay.
power equipment,
yeah, I mean, the baler or
Yeah.
the compactor is not,
doesn't matter, but anything that's on the road
um,
or the driveway.
the second bullet under training, some experience in heavy manual labor, I don't know if that's,
Is that training or is that a requirement?
it's experience, I mean, I don't care if, you know, if they don't have experience in manual labor, as long as they can, you know.
We do offer training,
Right.
and the
Yeah.
Primex will offer it, but.
So, I mean, I don't know, like, it's kinda just, like, define it, what's, I mean, I picked rocks out of the garden when I was a kid, does that
Okay.
count?
I think so.
Do you want me to scratch
It's
it?
kind of like soil.
I mean, that's just my two
Big
cents. I
rocks
mean,
and little
Yeah,
rocks.
exactly,
Okay,
I mean,
do you want me to scratch that?
I don't know, it's up to you guys as a group, us as a
Just
group.
shift the ability to follow written and oral instructions over to that
Yeah,
Yeah,
bullet,
I mean-
you know?
okay,
as long as we're in consensus, that was my
Yeah.
opinion.
I'm gonna tell you, some people may think it's heavy manual labor and some may not.
Yeah.
And that's why you have some people that resign a day after they work there and
yeah,
some that stayed, so.
okay,
They can figure that out when they get there.
okay,
Again, on the summary of occupational exposures, I mean, that's part of the safety program.
Yeah.
safety program,
Yeah, it's, I mean, we should have a safety program that deals with, you know, not hazardous waste, but hazardous materials.
Hazardous, whatever.
Yeah, you know, it's all part of the, right to know law.
Yep, yep.
277,
yeah, we do have it in
yeah,
there too.
and, you know, if there is high noise, we ought to know
Yeah,
what it
just
is.
make reference, because I'm thinking, you know, if you get into a jam,
Mhm.
what would they go back and refer to, this, or would they go back to the safety?
If you have too many variables. then-
Right, cause now which one applies?
They
so-
contradict each other. but-
Sure.
Yeah, okay, I'll do that.
That was just, I had on those, I mean, again, some of the same other things too, about specifics and all that stuff. I'll take a look.
Do you want me to condense these as well, the physical activities?
The duties and
shorten it?
Yeah,
responsibilities.
yeah,
Yeah.
do the same
Yeah.
thing.
Be consistent as
Yep.
with the other one?
Yep.
I mean, it's not a problem to review these and amend them yearly if you have the time, so maybe we'll do it
Yeah.
now.
Good.
You got anything else for this one topic while we're here?
No,
Alright, I'm gonna hit the mailbox so we can get moving here. We have a spreadsheet for the Mitchell Municipal Group billing for 2016. So far, the lawsuit from the Souls has cost us $3,127.06. Kelsey Road has cost us $3,600.
This year?
Change, just this year. Kelsey Road, if you go back to the full.
Oh, I know, yeah.
Town hall roof has cost us $90. $90 for what?
They were full.
I think it's, they reviewed the contract for
Oh, that's
for
right,
tipping.
Yep, makes sense. Selectman general for us, we spent $1,200. 756 of it was at town meeting, so we haven't been doing too bad. The assessing is up to $1,100, planning, Labby,
Oh, there was a requirement that the approval be, there's a kind of shared deed that had to be reviewed by,
Oh, okay, okay, I
and,
got you.
but that's a
Specific, yeah, that was,
reimbursable,
right, that's
expense.
216, then we have general planning, 117. I don't know if you've already seen it, right?
Yep.
Can I see?
Oh,
No,
oh,
you
you
can't.
want me to get a copy to you?
Oh, I can't?
Of course you can.
You just saying all these numbers and I didn't even try to remember them.
No,
so-
I'll
That's all right.
scan the copy to you.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
We already got, I don't know if you already initialed it, that's, we already met it tonight, Pat.
They say,
Yep. Speaking of souls, we have the email from Steve here. See attached, court ruled town on all claims, souls have 10 days to seek reconsideration, 30 days to appeal directly to Supreme Court. We haven't heard anything yet, have we?
Mm-mm.
So the
When's
10
date?
days are probably up,
When did we receive it?
Monday, July 18th.
today's the 27th, 28th.
Yep, so it's,
Seven.
the order was
Yep.
on July 14th. So, you know, the email came in after the, I mean, technically they got the 14th, so we'll pass the 10 days for reconsideration. But the court ruled in our favor on everything, basically, we, $4,000 for the exaction fee is ours to use, we put in the budget, so,
It's already spent,
yeah, and legal
And then
fees,
some.
yeah.
and legal fees for that, so.
Okay.
And that was it for the mailbox. We're on the table. Anything for us, one? Extra?
Do I? I haven't, no, nothing.
Mr. Tom?
No, good, nothing comes to mind.
The only thing I had on my mind was the contracts and stuff like that, but we already talked about it, so we're good. You what?
I'll take a sabbatical this week.
Sounds good. Alright, hearing none, we'll go open public comments. Donna? Anything? No public comments, so I'm gonna close public comments. Now, in that case, I'm gonna make a motion to go into non-public per RSA 91-A:32C.
Before we do that,
Yeah,
I do have a question.
Oh, sure.
If we wanna talk about a security issue, can that be done, and I'm just not comfortable doing it, in a public forum, that's part of the reason for the
I
question.
think it's under,
So is there
I
a,
think it's a D or E or,
is there a non-public for that?
yes.
Well,
Cause
A is
there may
this-
be two then.
A is the dismissal, promotion, and compensation for public employees, and disciplining.
Consideration of security related issues bearing, well, that's for safety and security. G.
B is a hiring, C is a matter which discussing if adversely affect reputation. D is consideration of acquisition of sale of land, consideration of negotiating of pending claims or litigation, that's E. F is consideration by adult parole board. G is consideration of security related issues bearing on the immediate safety of security personnel or inmates at the county correctional facilities by county correctional superintendents or designees. H is consideration of application by the Business Finance Authority. I, consideration of matters relating to the preparation for the carrying out of emergency functions, including training to carry out such functions, developed by local or state safety officials that are directly intended to thwart a deliberate act that is intended to result in widespread or severe damage to property and widespread injury or loss of life. And J is consideration of confidential, commercial, or financial information that is exempt from public disclosure under RSA 91-A.
If it's
What?
the last one,
Confidential, commercial, financial information?
confidential financial information, yes.
Okay, so we can do two.
Okay, good, thanks.
These are the last.
Alright.
I think it might be this one, but you're saying you think it
Maybe.
falls into that one.
Let's see. Which one are you saying, J?
J,
Yeah, that's what I just said.
oh,
J.
I
Yeah,
thought you
J.
said, okay.
No,
okay.
J.
So,
Okay, good. Thanks.
let's try 14 of that. That's the wrong one, I'm looking at the wrong agenda. Anyway, make a motion to go non-public.
I'll second the motion.
Alright. All those in favor?
Tom Grollo says aye, it's 8:59.
yes.
And Bob Martell says yes.
Can I? Okay, so you won't be going back into regular session,
No,
okay?
we have nothing else to come in.
Good night, gentlemen, give me a second.
Hopefully this will be short and sweet and we can go home.
Yeah.
Shortly
What's
thereafter.
the time you have now, 2 grand?
8:58.
8:58, excuse me. I can even see upset.
God's sakes. Right, okay,
Don't erase it.
I don't know how to do that, she just said just close it. I don't know why it won't shut off.
Yeah, shut off this.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so,
No
I
idea.
think it'll clean, I won't mess with that, but I will erase it,
Yeah.
cause I'll just push all the buttons.
I told him I didn't know how to use it, so. I can't turn on the TV.
Push the little red buttons in the back, on the right-hand side of the,
There is none.
And I just hand